I am talking to the absolutely gorgeous Aliona, who struggles with people pleasing, and actually the impact of trying to please everybody has led her to really lose sight of who she is. It's a really emotional, gentle chat, and if this is something that you struggle with, then really this is the conversation for you, because we uncover so much about who she wants to be, how she wants to be, and how she can do that. I have the gorgeous Aliona with me today. She's a bit nervous.
Very nervous.
So what is it you want to work on today?
Self-confidence.
Okay. And
Learn to be myself. And not pretend being someone that I'm not. In a way.
so where are you at with that right now?
Where am I at? It's just trying to, it's like, even if I'm not happy to do something for someone or anything, I'll do it or I'll say yes, just because I don't want that person to be upset.
So there's a lot of people pleasing.
So it's a lot of that, yes.
And what's the impact of the people pleasing on you?
It makes me unhappy because I do things that I don't necessarily want to do, you know? And I overthink it all the time, which makes me upset a lot of the time. So I take it home with me, I take it on my husband, I take it on my family, you know? So I don't want to be like that.
It's really stressful.
It is, yeah. I'm going to cry.
It's okay. I always say to the women that I coach never to apologise for showing emotion. It's a really healthy thing. It's a really important part of healing. What's upsetting you so much?
Just everything is because I think I'm at the age when I should be able to, you know, be myself, do what I want to do, and it's just, it feels like I'm wasting my life on things that don't help me, don't grow me, don't benefit me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know.
And in terms of the, I just need to check this is on because it keeps doing that. Yes, it is. Isn't it? Yeah. And in terms of, so we've got the people pleasing, we've got the stress of it, and like the over analysing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that happens when you're just trying to please everybody else?
I don't have time for myself.
Okay. So it's really at the cost of a lot.
It's even starting with that, like first thing in the morning, I will do what I have to do at home. I'll have to, you know, get everything ready, do the washing, do the tidying, do this, do that. Like, I'd leave the house with not makeup 95% of the time, so I'll maybe have my makeup done when there is a party, something like this, just so I don't, just as that I blend in a little bit, you know, but not standing out too much. I don't like that either. Yeah, basically. So it's making sure they get home and everything is nice and everything is tidy and everything is, it doesn't matter the rest, you know.
So that's the house stuff.
Yeah.
So what else? Because you said it's for people. You always want to do what people ask of you. You don't like to say no.
Yeah. Yeah. So mainly it's at work.
Okay.
It's like other stuff generally.
And what's the fear? Like, what are you worried about if you say no to somebody, or sorry, I can't do that?
That they'll get upset.
They'll get upset. And what does it mean if they get
unhappy?
Okay. And if they get upset, what does that mean
I'll
for
be
you?
upset.
You'll be upset.
Yeah. So
But you're upset anyway.
I am upset
by the way.
anyway. Yes. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
pointing that out.
Yeah.
So you don't want to upset them because you don't want to upset them because then you'll be upset.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of missed the link, haven't we? Because you're upset anyhow.
Yes.
So actually, the one thing that you're most afraid of is the one thing that you're creating. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, the one thing that you're so afraid of is being upset by upsetting somebody else. But actually, you're creating that anyway by doing everything for everybody else. The result is the same, is what I'm saying. You end up upset. And that's a very
Don't
common...
think of it at all.
It's very common. It's really, really common that the one thing that people are trying so hard to avoid because they're so scared of, they actually, in the avoidance, they actually create it. It's quite amazing. So, okay, so we've got the problem.
Yeah.
We've got the problem. How would you like to be? In terms of the people pleasing, and when someone asks you to do something, or how do you want to be around
I'd like to be honest and say exactly how I feel and what I feel, instead of trying and say what they want to hear.
And you know, as you said that, your voice went up.
Yeah.
You started to project better.
Yeah. I've hurt myself as well.
Yeah. What's that?
I don't know.
What do you think that is? That you suddenly had volume in your voice?
Because that's how I want to be.
Yeah. There was like a woman in there screaming to get out.
I think it's mainly to do with like background as well. Like, you always thought, oh, be careful what people are going to say about that. What are they going to think about that? You know, you need to always be careful. You know, so you can't dress like that. You can't do this. You can't go there. You can't, you know, so it's all to do
all
that.
The fear of what other people might think of you.
Yes, so it's since childhood.
Yeah.
So I find it very difficult. There are certain moments when I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. But 95, 98% of the time, I'll just be like, yeah, that's okay.
Because it's easier.
Yes.
And I think what we've just uncovered is it isn't easier, because it's at the cost of your happiness, your fulfillment, your energy levels, and how you now feel about yourself.
I did something yesterday at work. It wasn't bad for anyone. I think it's a lesson. But I'm thinking, oh, will that person see that? And they will get upset because I've made a note for it and I told them that that's what needs to be done. And I still think about it, and I've even texted my colleague and I'm like, did she see that? Did she read the note? Did she do anything about it? And it's like, oh, she didn't. And I said, people don't really care. I think it's just me taking that too deep and overthinking it all the time, because that should have been done right in the first place. You know? So it's just those little things that it's been 24 hours almost and I'm still thinking about it.
It's draining. Yeah. It's draining.
Yeah.
It takes up so much energy.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I want to offer you, and I don't know if this is of help at all, but as you're talking, it's just come up for me, is that you don't get to control what people think. At all. So what I think of you and what your work colleague thinks of you and what your husband, your daughter, whoever, you cannot control it. You just cannot. What they will think what they will think because they are wired how they are wired. And that's up to them. The only thing that you can be in total charge of is who you are. And the only thing that you can really control is how you represent yourself, how you hold yourself, what you think of yourself, and how you want to be, and go forth from there. And then hopefully people will like it or they won't like it, but once you get very centred in who you are and what works for you, actually what others think of you won't matter so much, because you'll be very comfortable with what's going on in here. But what's happening is you're basing your identity on the people pleasing.
Yeah.
And that's worrying, right? Because you don't know how someone else is going to take it, because it's, well, like, if I do this, then hopefully they'll think that. And you've ultimately got no control over it, so you're going to get really anxious about it. Well, I said that she should do that at work, but I don't know how she's taken it, and I don't know if she should think, and I don't know. And it's all about what the other person is thinking.
It's only because I don't want, I'm not a bad person, and I don't want people to think that I am a bad person just because I said no, or just because I told them that needs to be done this way and not that way.
Well, what makes a
because
bad
that is the
person? In your opinion, what's a bad person?
I don't know. I don't even know what a bad person is. Like,
Well, you're working very hard at not being one, which you're not, of
Yeah.
course. But
I am not. No,
of course
I
you're
know
not. And I'd just like your opinion as to what a bad person is, or what a bad person looks like.
That's a hard question.
Okay. What's hard about it?
I don't know, because I can't put it into a box to see what a bad person really looks like. Nasty, mean,
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasty,
A lot.
mean, rude, yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not very kind,
Yeah.
bit selfish, just whatever, just things that
Yeah.
just don't live in you.
No.
No. So how can anyone think that you're one of those people when it just doesn't live anywhere inside of you?
I really don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, well, what we're uncovering is actually just where the fears are, what the problem is, why you're behaving in the way that you're behaving, because the fear is running the show, this fear of, I don't want to be a bad person. That dialogue in your head is running your behaviour. It's running how you do everything. I don't want to be a bad person and I don't want to upset you. So I'm going to do everything I can so those things don't happen. And we've uncovered that the impact of that is that you're upsetting yourself and you've lost sense of who you are, who you want to be, what you stand for, what you don't, what's right by you, what isn't. And those things are so vital. Vital to well-being. And the thing is, like, I've known you for years, not well, but I've known you for years, and I know that deep inside of you, and you tell me what you feel about this, I know that there is a very sassy, confident, self-assured, wonderful woman who is desperate to come out and show the world who she is.
Yeah, I'm usually myself with people that I'm comfortable with. Like people that I feel the energy,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I feel comfortable around
Yeah.
these people to be myself.
yeah. Where there's safety.
Yes. Yeah.
And who is that when you're yourself? Tell me about her.
Crazy.
Crazy?
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? How is she crazy?
In a nice way, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you giggled as you said it, so
Yeah,
she makes you...
yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does she do? Like, that's crazy and funny?
Dunno.
What's the energy of her?
The energy.
Yeah.
To make me smile.
And me, she's making me smile too.
Yeah. Just happy.
Happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is she confident?
Yeah. My husband laughs at my jokes a lot. I never laugh at my jokes. He does.
Your husband loves you.
He thinks I'm extremely funny.
Good. Because you're married to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's funny, she's confident, relaxed?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what else is she?
What else?
Do you like her? Do you like that part of yourself?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like about her?
Everything.
Like? What? What What parts do you like? How it makes you feel?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about her? They're not trick questions, by the way. I'm just curious to know what your experience is of her.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. I just like the whole being of
Yeah,
her,
lovely.
you know?
You like her presence.
Yes.
So I get what you've said to me is, I'm just going to
And
check
it
this
went
again.
back to being like 17, 18, 19. Somehow in my head, I'm back to that time.
So it makes you feel young
Yes.
and free.
Yes. Yeah.
So in order for you to feel young and free and happy, all these things that are part of this confident woman, you have to feel safe. That's what you've said. Is that fair? Is that true? Like, tell me a bit more about that.
I have to safe in a way that I am around people that I trust.
Sure.
And I can definitely trust, not just, which is very hard these days, I find. People you really trust, or you can trust. But I'd like to be that woman even if I'm not, if I'm just in any environment that I haven't been before.
Sure.
I just I want to be like that all the time.
Well, here's the good news.
Yes.
She lives inside of you.
Yes, she does.
She does.
Just locked her up somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's very specific times of when you unlock, and I love this metaphor of locking her up, when you unlock the door and when you lock it again. And who's unlocking and locking the door? Right. Yeah. So what does that tell you?
I have to be in control.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
You are in control. Because you're the only one locking and unlocking. I don't have the key. You do. So when you walk into work, and I'm taking work as one of those examples of when she's locked away, you lock her away, you throw the key out, and you open the door to somebody who is anxious, people-pleasing, a bit on edge, unhappy, and exhausted. Anything else in that list that needs to be there?
No, pretty much it. Ticks all the boxes. Yeah. Just people pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This people-pleasing part of yourself.
Yeah.
And she doesn't serve anybody. She doesn't serve her work colleagues. She doesn't help her work colleagues because she's so anxious and pent up about worrying about how everyone else is perceiving her, that actually she's of no value anywhere. She's just a ball of stress. And she's the one that is present a lot more than this beautiful woman who's locked behind the door, who has to feel safe to come out. Let's give them some names. We've got the people-pleasing one. What's the other one? What's the other woman called?
What should we call her?
You tell me. Like a superhero that you like, or a cartoon character, anything, be anything. Is there a nickname that your husband calls you?
Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
See how quickly that came?
Lulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got Lulu,
Yeah.
and we've got, you want to give the other one a name? Your energy change is amazing. You just went all like closed in.
I can't even think of a name. I don't know what to call her.
Well, for now, should we call her the people pleaser?
Yeah.
Okay, so so we've got the people pleaser, we've got Lulu.
Yeah.
So tell me when you put the people pleaser down and Lulu comes out. Is that when you walk through the door at home? Like, when does that happen? When is the transition?
most of the time is when I get home or I leave work.
So the people pleaser is very present at work.
Yes.
When else is she present?
Anywhere else that I go? I don't know anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anywhere else that you go where you don't know people,
I wouldn't even argue the person in the shop or anything like that because I don't want to upset anyone, even if I'm, and that's some of the arguments I get with my husband because of that, because he's like, you can't do that. You have to, you have to stand your ground. You have to,
And how does Lulu stand her ground? And what does she do if something's not right by her?
Well, then she'll stand up for herself.
Will she?
Yeah.
And how is she with that, standing up for herself?
In a nice way. Yeah.
Say more?
Stand up for myself in a nice way, like.
So if I'm a shopkeeper, and I've given you the wrong change, for example, and you've got the people pleaser,
yes,
what would she do?
She just, try to tell you in a nice, quiet way.
Yeah. And I'll say to you, sorry, now I gave you the right change.
Okay, whatever. No walk away.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lulu?
We'll sit down and count the change together. Do the maths.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. So you'd sit down and count the change together. And you know what I love?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to come back and say, well, I would tell him that it's wrong and I would this or I would that. But actually, it was really gentle.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. Actually, you're going to work with somebody to say why this might be wrong.
Yeah.
Or you don't believe it's right.
Yeah. In a nice way.
Yeah. In a nice
way. Yeah.
A nice way we do it together. We'll work this problem out together.
Yeah.
So she's very resourceful and she's very respectful.
Yeah.
Really. Beautiful.
I try to think that I am. Yeah.
You are.
I am.
Because you're the one that's giving me this information and everything that I'm saying back to you is just mirroring back what you're saying to me. So what you've just pointed to is complete respect for the other person.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. The thing is, we will work and we will get stressed and we will, so I just don't think it's unfair if you had a bad day to take it to someone else, And I get that a lot at work from other people, and I'm kind of, you must have had something happen today, so you came and you screamed at me because I haven't done anything to you, But you can't tell that to people, you just listen and it just gets into your head and
gets into your head or goes over?
It gets into your head and you think, why do you do this to me? Why do you have to be like this to me? In your head.
Yeah. And Lulu? What does Lulu say about it?
I'll be more understanding and just try and, let it go.
See, what I'm pointing to here, in terms of the two women that live inside you, and by the way, there'll be many, but we've just uncovered two in
just
maybe
two.
20 minutes.
Just
the two. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Personality.
You'll be pleased to know that we all have a split personality.
Okay.
But in a good way. And actually, what it does is it brings awareness to the different sides of you or the different dialogues that go on in your head and what parts of yourself you want to run from. And when we are aware of all the different split personalities, as you said, we get to choose. Actually, in this moment, I want to pick Lulu. Or in this moment, I'm assuming you're never going to really want to consciously pick the people pleaser. But you get to pick the sides of yourself that help serve you in that moment, that help serve you for the woman that you want to be in whatever situation you find yourself in, whether it's someone screaming at you at work or someone's giving you the wrong change or you're at a party and you want to have a great time. You get to choose. but we can only choose when we have complete awareness of who's running the show. And at the moment, we've got the people pleaser in absolute command of everything. So, well, before I ask my next question, what's happening for you? What's becoming clearer, if anything? Just talk me through what you're thinking.
Thinking that I need to unlock my true self out and just try and use that and be myself more and not please everybody else.
And what have you uncovered about this true self of yours?
That I should be more happy. I should
You're doing great.
Be genuine, be me.
And what is
tell,
it?
Tell people how I feel, what I feel, and yeah.
And if
Yeah,
Lulu
sure.
was in control, if
Yeah.
Lulu was representing you,
Oh. She'll be everything you said earlier, very sassy, very, confident,
yeah.
very, all those things, yeah.
And what does she say about this upsetting people thing? And what's she got to say about that?
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant?
What? Yeah,
So what is relevant?
me being happy. Yeah, because I think that's the only way to think straight, right?
So she's got your back. She has. I mean, she really knows what's best for you. That's what I'm hearing anyway.
I know, deep in my conscious, I know what's good for me. I know what needs to be done and how it needs to be done and what needs to be said and how it needs to be said. I know all that, but it just does not come out like that because of people pleasing.
Yeah.
So my head says one thing, from my mouth comes out something else.
And do you know
Always.
when you're talking from this part of yourself,
Yeah.
you are louder.
Yeah.
You are clearer. Even your diction is clear. Everything's just more, I guess, confident and clear. That's the only word that's running through. It's just clear. So let's do a little exercise. Now we've got these two women in the space.
Get them to fight.
Yeah.
Is it?
No. You can.
No.
I want to know what Lulu says to the people pleaser, because she is so resourceful for you, and I'm sure she's got a lot to say to this people pleaser. What has she got to say about it?
Not much.
Hmm?
Probably just to back off.
Back off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah. 2 words. Yeah.
Well, say it. So it's from Lulu.
Yes. Back off.
Back off.
Yeah.
Back off from what? And when she backs off, then what?
So I can be me.
So back off so I can be me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anything else?
Probably have to look her away somewhere. In the wind.
Yeah. What's happening?
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
I'm saying it, but I'm thinking, how am I going to do that at the same time?
Well, let's look at it. How are you going to do that at the same time? Because the voice of the people pleaser, by the way, is very ingrained up here.
Yeah.
Okay? So even though you've now uncovered something else, which is Lulu, and you can tell her to back off, but at the moment the people pleasing voice is louder because she's used to being around. She's used to running the show.
Yeah.
It's going to take a bit more than back off so I can be me.
Yeah.
It is. It's going to take something more to get rid, or to even quieten her.
Yeah.
So,
Or just switch one thing at a time off.
switch one thing at a time.
Yes. I'll probably make it easier.
Tell me, say more about that.
So, swap one thing to another. So instead of saying something to please someone just because they want to hear that,
Yeah.
I'll just say what I think should be said. Maybe in a different way. Again, I was just about to say not to upset them. Yeah. Just, yeah. Just
How you
one-
think and feel about something.
Yeah,
Let's say it's a work scenario
Yeah.
and something needs to be done and you don't.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
How
I'll
you
usually
think
do it just not to, avoid any,
Conflict.
yes. I'll just do it. Even if I'll ask for your help and if you haven't done it, then I'll just get on and do it because it just needs to be done.
And it's at the cost of you
Yeah,
and your well-being and your state of mind. It's at the cost of all of that. So we know that doesn't work because you end up not being able to express yourself, not having any volume in your voice, not speaking up for yourself in any way, shape or form, and not really being understood. That's the impact of it.
yeah,
But the impact of Lulu, now correct me if I'm wrong, is happiness, smiles,
yeah,
energy,
yeah,
respect.
yeah.
What else?
Because if I'm happy, then everything fits into its own box.
And there's something about respect in terms of her that I really want you to take with you, because I think that might be your safety net. Actually, because she's got so much respect, going back to what you said about if the change was wrong in the shop,
Yeah,
that actually you would count it together.
yeah,
So that's the safety. Weirdly, it all comes back to it, because
Yeah.
you said in order for, I'm having a light bulb moment, in order for, I realise you're the one that's supposed to have the light bulb moment, but let me share this with you. In order for Lulu to come out into the world, you have to feel safe. And there's something about, and you can connect the dots for me, there's something about safety and respect that feels very linked in terms of you breaking through this people-pleasing thing. Am I making sense?
kind of. I'm trying to understand it.
There's, because Lulu has such respect for other people, because she's a respectful person,
Yeah,
and you showed that
yeah,
in just how you would deal
Yeah.
with a problem in a shop.
Yeah.
We would count it together.
yeah,
There's your safety, because your fear of upsetting somebody, or for them to take it wrong, or for them to think badly of you,
yeah. I don't want to make a scene.
you don't want to make a scene.
Yeah.
But because you've got such respect for the other person
Yeah,
by being Lulu,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Because it's there, it's living within you.
yeah, yeah,
There's your safety.
yeah,
And that the safety isn't about other people loving you and knowing you deeply, and of course they're wonderful, important things to have in life. But they're very contingent on when you bring her out, and that's based on who's around you. Whereas we want Lulu to come out everywhere.
Yeah.
And you have to feel safe to do that. You said that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Your safety is in that you have so much respect for the other person, because that's who you are. So you're never going to upset somebody, or you're never going to intentionally put someone's back up, because you're always going to come from a place of respect first, regard for the other person. But there's a big difference between taking someone else into consideration and ignoring yourself.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Do you see what I mean? What I'm pointing to?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's landing for you? What's becoming clearer?
It's finding a different way on. It's the way I approach the situation altogether, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily 100% pleasing them, but it's just.
Well, you're not approaching it from fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're approaching everything from fear at the moment because you're worried about upsetting them. That's the fear.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me how you can
On the
approach
safety
it.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So approaching it through the other side, like do what's right, but do it in a nice way without upsetting myself and making myself uncomfortable, and at the same time the other person.
They will take it how they will take it.
Yeah.
You can only do your best
Yeah.
and be your best.
Yeah.
You can only do that.
Yeah.
And if you know that you are honouring yourself and what you believe in, whilst respecting the other person, I believe there's a beautiful flow there for you. And I think that it shows up as fear about upsetting the other person, but actually if we put it into a value, it's actually respect. It's having respect for the other person. Does that make sense?
In a way.
So now you get to uphold the respect for yourself, you get to uphold the respect for the other person, respect for the situation, but respect it's a 360, because you have to respect you too. It works as a whole. You can respect someone else and disrespect yourself, which is what you've been doing. But
just
now,
let people walk over you.
yeah. And then that's not respecting someone, that's being in fear of someone. You see how it's just such a slight shift, and the impact is so enormous. But now just by respecting yourself and the other person, well, what do you think the impact of that would be?
I'll be my safety. I would not offend myself in any way, upset myself in any way.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm being polite to the other person. Maybe I shouldn't care so much what other people.
Well, you're upholding your values as values, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't done any value work together, but when you value something very strongly, and one of the things for you is, as I've said, respect and safety. These are the two that have come up today.
Yeah.
There's a way of honouring them, or there's a way of abusing them.
Yeah.
And you've been abusing them unknowingly.
Yeah.
Now it's time to honour them. It's time to really uphold what respect means for you, and that means respecting yourself. It's time to really uphold what safety means for you, and that means feeling safe within you.
Yeah.
Trusting you. Trusting that actually I have everything within me, that I will be okay and I won't offend anybody else, because I'm a good person. And I have all these wonderful things going on inside me that I want to offer to the world, rather than denying everybody of it. Because I'm so scared of how it's going to be received. But you have to offer it first, so they can actually be in the presence of your values. So with all that said, how do you want to take this forward in terms of real life? Because the beauty of coaching is we can have a beautiful conversation, which we have, but it's irrelevant if you're not going to apply it to life. Yeah, so when you walk through those doors at work tomorrow, because work is a trigger place for you.
Yes.
Who's going through that door?
There'll have to be a limit.
Oh, it has to be.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how can you get in touch with her in the morning?
In the morning. Ooh.
What does
Maybe
Lulu wear?
Start by Lulu.
Yeah, what does she wear? Yeah, I
Oh gosh, you don't want to know.
do. What does she wear that's work appropriate?
Well, most of my work clothes are black.
Okay.
Put it like that. It's like I just want to blend in.
Yeah.
And
What does
not-
Lulu wear? Does she wear black?
I like bright colors.
Okay.
So
Tomorrow.
this is what I find myself, that I am lost.
Yeah.
Like I'm lost in between. That's very interesting. This is going too deep now.
Too deep now. I mean, we've been very deep.
Yeah, too deeper, I think. I've always questioned myself. Like, I like this, but at the same time, I'm going to go for this. So what I wear and what I really want are two different things.
Yes. You could, but you can see even in that the struggle between Lulu and the people pleaser.
Yes.
They're even battling there.
Yeah.
You see that?
So I would go shopping to buy something I really want. I'll end up buying something that
The people
I'll
pleaser
just blend
ones.
in.
Yeah. The people
and I
pleaser
don't
ones.
stand out because it's safe for me like that. It's better.
I
No one is going to notice me.
have a piece of homework for you. And this is what happens at the end of every
gosh.
coaching session. There's homework.
Oh, really? Okay, go on.
Now, with any piece of homework, you can say yes, no, or
Yeah.
you can counter offer, which means you can tell me something that you will do instead.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I want you to go into work
Yeah.
in a brightly coloured top
Yeah.
or a brightly coloured something.
Yeah.
No black tomorrow.
Okay.
A brightly coloured outfit. Something that Lulu would wear.
Okay.
Do you accept?
Mhm. Yeah. Any color?
Any
Apart from
colour.
black. Yeah.
No
okay.
black.
No black.
Because I want Lulu to get dressed tomorrow,
Okay.
not the people pleaser.
Okay.
You understand? Yes?
Yes. I would.
The people pleaser is not allowed to choose your outfit
The thing
tomorrow.
that just came into my head was like, oh, what would other people say?
That's the people pleaser talking.
Yes.
And what will Lulu say in response
Yeah.
to that?
No, I'm just gonna wear something that makes me happy.
That's what she says.
Yes.
Wear something that makes me happy. I'm going to wear something that makes me happy. Finished.
Yeah.
How empowering. Because what you're dropping is that dialogue of what will people think. You don't know what people think of when you wear black.
Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know. Everyone's got an opinion about something.
Yeah.
They're going to have an opinion no matter what you do, whether you wear black or you wear fuchsia pink. They are going to have an opinion about it because that's how people are. You might as well do what makes you happy.
I'll just go shopping now then.
You're going to go shopping?
Yeah, because everything I buy, I just buy it in black. Everything is black.
So now you've given yourself 2 pieces of homework. You're now going to go shopping and get a new outfit. You're going to say sorry to her husband there.
Yeah.
So tell me what you're going to walk away with today. What do you think you're going to take away with from this conversation?
It's be myself. Yeah, and stop pleasing everyone else. And do what I think is good for them.
Yeah. And if you're going to start doing that,
yes.
Tell me what you're going to start doing. You're going to be yourself, and what else you're going to start doing.
I'm going to be myself.
Mm.
Going to be happy. Dressed in happy colours.
See, the sass is there.
Yes.
You see?
There you go.
and know that the safety net that you crave
Yes.
lives within you. Because you're a wonderful, beautiful woman who has nothing but respect and beauty to offer this world. And everyone wants to see it.
Do that.
Thank you for tuning in again today. If you are interested in the coaching process and you would like to know more, please email me nicole@nicolegoodman.co.uk and stay tuned for more of my coaching series.